So the other day, I'm at the grocery store, okay? I'm just trying to pick up some groceries, go home, survive, right? But I'm at the grocery store, and I'm about to pick up some eggs when a random guy walks.
Leafy. You probably know who I'm talking about. Here he is. Coming home, many folks want to tune out their day, or just relax in general. And judging by the audience storytime YouTube has garnered around this time, it wasn't any different in 2016. Very early Leafy, if you're old enough to remember it, that is, was based in Minecraft, and most of the videos he did then were just messing around with his friends, and you could tell that there was no serious vibe about it. He was just goofing around. The earliest content to gain him recognition came after this time, and it was of course the storytime content. The general way that this went is that Leafy would post a video where he talked about something that happened to interest him, or that happened directly to him. For around 10 minutes he usually recorded these videos. These videos were generally funny and lighthearted and had a non-serious nature about them. And he did that for a fair while, and that's where he got his first little audience. It didn't take long for Leafy to start giving his opinion on other topics too. Leafy started making videos on other YouTubers, such as Mr. Darkness 666, Winnie Wisconsin, many of you remember her, Stomedy, Keemstar, many others I'm sure you can recall as well. And his audience really ate this up. He saw massive success by talking about the topics of the day, and at the same time he made it fairly amusing, fairly easy to laugh at, and you know, quite easy to listen to as well. He became part of a wider trend around about this point, and what we would look back on now and call it the start of the commentary community, before the right community existed, of course. But we'll get to that later. And it also started with people, other people of course, it wasn't just him. Fairly similar people to him at the time though. Pyrocynical, iDubbbz, I'm Alex, Great Andre, Luna, many others that you could name as well. Now he did have like quite a few competitors, but as far as 2016 he was pretty much unequaled at the time, at least in terms of channel growth and rendition. And a lot of these people fell off not long after that. He managed to stay on the bandwagon for quite a while, and many people say he melted dry. But that's where we get to our next part. Skipping into more recent times, Leafy also garnered nearly as much negative attention as positive after making several videos quite recently to his ban in terms. He made several videos on Pokemon, and in many people's eyes, including Susan and Twitter's it seemed, this was a bridge too far. Swiftly and without warning or a chance to appeal from this situation, his channel was struck down from the internet, his social medias following not long after. Why, perhaps you ask? Well, like some other figures such as Alex Jones, he really pissed off the internet small monitors. He really shook the proverbial bee's nest, and that really pissed these guys off, and they decided to get him gone. They did this by terms of service, striking his channel.
Hey guys, it's me.
He violated the terms of service, and as such he was banned and could never return under any other alias. And he's tried to several times, but nothing's been successful. Every time he returns, gets struck, claimed, anything to get this guy gone. They really don't like him. But as to a much belated renaissance, I think that could be had. I think that many folks, especially those who grew up watching edgy content, or anything that could be considered edgy content, and especially now, would long to return to such a less sanitized era, being around 2016, and later of course too. But everyone noticed it's been more sanitized now, more cleaned up, far less edgy. I suppose many folks would say far less funny. And while we can't turn back time and avoid this happening and go back to how it was, I think we can do something moving forward. If Leafy's style, and indeed the rant and commentary style itself, can be so popular, I think it can return in a very similar way. After all, it was a very simple, very humble beginning, so I don't see any reason why it couldn't come back. For proof of this being doable, I would cite a few successful examples of YouTubers that have made it big with content that would fit perfectly next to the commentary videos of 2016. And I think that could hold their heads fairly proudly amongst creators of that time. I think they would garner an audience quite well around that time too. Turkey Tom and Lyrics, who I'm talking about, of course, they're foremost in my mind when it comes to a continuation, something carrying on that 2016 style. Turkey Tom's been around since late 2016 himself, so a good candidate just from that premise. You know, he really got to start around 2018, 2019 sort of thing. But he has been around for a while. His style of content shows good inspiration from Leafy. He's clearly been paying close attention. Difference being he doesn't do the occasional face cam video.
You got it.
But of course he doesn't need to. That was never necessary from the commentary style. It just happened to be a popular thing that some YouTubers did. But many YouTubers, you remember, did not do face cam, and indeed only had their audio over a little animated character. After all, who better to follow in his steed than a man who watched him and picked up a good, easy to listen to format from Leafy's videos. That's for Tricky Tom. As for Lyrics, he's a new up-and-coming YouTuber, known less for copying any particular style than just speaking his mind freeform about something he's interested in. Clearly, it's a very relaxed and laid-back sort of style. It bears consideration that that's how the entire commentary genre started. It wasn't just jumping on any old particular trend of the day, like Dream SMP or something to become relevant. It was just very simply something that someone wanted to talk about, and there wasn't so much a monetary incentive back then. Anyhow, to sum up, I think the success these creators have enjoyed proves there's a high demand for personality-driven, commentary-based, edgy content. And I think there's only one way to return to that, which is create the style that was good in the first place. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
He's got